Watching WLKY-TV, Channel 32, Louisville. And now, Vicki Dortch, Bruce Dunbar, Reed Yaden with the weather, and Fred Cowgill on sports. This is Channel 32 News, the Late Report.
Good evening, I'm Vicki Dortch.
And I'm Bruce Dunbar. We'll have more on the Fall Classic in just a few minutes.
Fred Cowgill will join us live from Cincinnati with a full report on the game. But first, our top story.
This time last year, the World Series was quickly forgotten.
October 17, 1989, San Francisco. The time just after 5.
Candy Maldonado with the hesitation, allowing Jose Canseco to score, and he fails to get Dave Parker at second base, so the Oakland A's take.
I'll tell you what, we're having an earthquake.
67 people were killed as an earthquake measuring 7.1 on the Richter scale shook the city for 15 seconds.
There's a car right there. I flattened pancake.
Crushed right down in the front seat.
Governor George Deukmejian said it was one of the most terrifying moments in California history, and the scars run deep. Thousands of people are still homeless, but new building standards are in effect, and communities are preparing for future quakes. People in the San Francisco area gathered today at various sites in the city to remember what happened. The U.S. Geological Survey says there have been more than 7,000 aftershocks, though most have been so minor they weren't felt. The scientist who predicted the San Francisco quake has issued a new prediction.
And if it comes true, it could have devastating consequences for our area.
Dr. Ivan Browning is a New Mexico climatologist. He says it's likely the New Madrid Fault will generate not one, but 2 earthquakes in December. Browning says there's a 50-50 chance a quake measuring greater than 7 on the Richter scale will strike early in the month.
There is a probability, an enhanced probability of a large earthquake along all faults in the 30 to 60 degrees north latitude range around December the 2nd.
Browning's methodology involves the effects of the sun and the moon on the Earth's crustal tides. His calculations indicate a second, less severe quake will hit around New Year's Eve.
And the tidal forces will not be as high, but they will still be dangerously high.
Although Browning hasn't pinpointed the location of either earthquake, residents throughout the 7-state New Madrid Fault Zone, including Kentucky, are buying canned foods and making other preparations for a possible disaster.
Although many experts have discounted Browning's predictions, some educators in the fault zone have taken them seriously. School districts in Missouri, Arkansas, and Kentucky have canceled classes on December 3rd and 4th in anticipation of an earthquake.
Another emotional day in the murder trial of David Bedell. The defendant broke into tears when he heard his taped confession to Jefferson County Police. Bedell admitted to kidnapping 21-year-old Regina Reebson as she was delivering newspapers in eastern Jefferson County in August of 1989. But he said shooting her was an accident. Closing arguments could get underway tomorrow. Some Shively police officers were honored tonight for their work, honored by a group of Boy Scout explorers. The 8 officers recognized were all former explorers themselves. They make up 1/3 of the current police department. The police cadet post excels each year in various national competitions. Shively has had the post for 15 years.
A quiet Jefferson County community is in an uproar over proposed plans for a major roadway. The mayor of Anchorage favors plans for a new road. However, many people attending a meeting tonight don't. As Todd Connor tells us, residents are concerned about keeping excess traffic out of their community.
The people at tonight's meeting had lots of questions, but they weren't sure who to direct them to.
I want somebody here to face the people that are here now and tell us why are they proposing this, and if they would, I would certainly appreciate it.
The meeting was to shed some light on the rumors about a proposed 4-lane road near Anchorage, but the concern about the road soon grew into concern about the eastern side of Jefferson County. In particular, the growth caused by the soon-to-be relocated Kroger distribution plant and other industry.
How are all of these hundreds of employees that we need in the county going to get to Kroger and out of Kroger? And are we fooling ourselves if we think they aren't going to come through Anchorage?
A pair of county officials could only tell the crowd that the county has nothing to do with the proposed road. Anchorage City Councilman Stan Schultz soon told the crowd that the road has been talked about by Anchorage City officials, but it's only in its initial stages.
The idea is what's going to happen in 4 or 5 years, when the Kroger distribution opens up, when the mini industrial park opens up, which the county has out at the intersection of Virginia Snyder. That's a problem.
These people now know where the idea for the road is coming from, but what they don't know is how they're going to stop it. Todd Connor, Channel 32 News.
Many residents plan to voice their concerns at the next Anchorage City Council meeting.
Jefferson County hopes to flush away sewer problems for thousands of Okolona homeowners. For years, thousands of people living in the Okolona area have had to deal with backed up sewer systems or no sewer system at all. That could change in the next year. Today, the Metropolitan Sewer District announced plans to extend a sewer line to those areas. The $2.7 million project should begin early next spring and will take a year to complete. And in national news, here's the latest on the budget. There's been a breakthrough. Senate leaders are hoping to get quick approval of a package the president has promised to sign. Also, there may not be another government shutdown. If lawmakers show enough progress toward the deficit reduction package, Bush says he'll sign legislation giving the government temporary spending authority. Well, in just a few minutes, Fred Cowgill will join us live from Cincinnati with more on Game 2.
And Reed has the forecast for the remainder of the work week, plus a peek at the weekend. Will we enjoy more award-winning weather?
Also coming up, reporter Dawn Grimes takes us back to Parris Island for a behind-the-scenes look at Marine training.
Tonight's news is brought to you in part by First National Bank, coming through for you.
At First National, we're always asking our customers how we can make banking easier and more convenient. Recently, we received a lot of ideas, and now we're responding with longer hours at selected locations throughout the community. So, whether you bank in the Hurstbourne, Okolona, Portland, or New Albany area, we're open longer for you.
First National Bank.
Coming through for you.
Here's the story of Big's True Minimum Pricing. You'll love the ending. True minimum prices are low prices, not specials. You see, gimmicks like specials are expensive. They force supermarkets to keep their other prices high. But true minimum prices are low prices on everything, every day, so that your total food bill at Big's will always be lower than at any other supermarket. I told you you'd love the ending. Big's, a new way to shop for food and everything else.
When it comes to bread, there's always been a big difference between what I want, delicious, and what Mom thinks I need, nutritious. It's a good thing Rainbow is introducing new Iron Kids bread, a bread with all the fiber, iron, and other important nutrients of whole wheat bread, plus the look, feel, and taste of white bread. Sure, Mom and I will always have our differences. Nutritious. Delicious. But Iron Kids bread is one thing we both agree on. New Iron Kids bread from Rainbow.
Hey, Louisville, Clarence is my name and getting the scoop is my game. But for the latest word in your hometown, Channel 32 is where it all goes down. First, the noon report with Liz Everman to start. Then kick back and hang on to your heart. Because the young and the restless, the bold and the beautiful, as the world turns and guiding lights, bring you romance and action that's out of sight. Top it all off with Oprah at 4. Now, who could ask for anything more? Don't let the excitement pass you by. It's all right here on 32 WLKY.
She kept the rain showers away from Cincinnati.
It was a close call, though, wasn't it?
I saw a couple of umbrellas come up.
That's right, right down to the wire. In fact, I think at 5 o'clock we said, hey, we'll get the game in, but they may get wet leaving the stadium. And I think that's about what's happening. Good morning, Vicki, Bruce, and everyone.
That's right. Good morning.
What's for breakfast?
We turn to that's it. We're thinking breakfast around here, folks. Let's take a look at current conditions in the Louisville area. We are well after the midnight hour now. Still very balmy, very breezy out there. 69 degrees at the present time. Humidity 76%, winds are south at 21, gusting to 30, barometer 29.79 and falling. Light rain here at Channel 32. They're hearing a little thunder out at Standiford Field. Perhaps it's raining where you are. Out in Plainview right now, no rain there at the moment. Barbara Galvani says, keep this forever. She was talking about today and tonight. Very balmy and breezy, and she says she likes it. In Plainview at the present time, still 71 degrees. Well, on Wednesday, we did manage a high of 79 degrees late in the day, and we had a low starting out the morning well above normal. 45 was a normal low for the 17th day of October. We only got down to 59 degrees. Sun rises this morning at 7:54. Sun will set at 7:01. If you are north of the river, better chance of getting wet there at the present time. Here's a live local radar view. For the past several hours, the more significant rains have stayed north of the river. This entire rain area is moving northeast at 40 to 45 miles an hour. Here's a current satellite photo, and for us it shows a very strong cold front moving in our direction. Here's the clouds delineating that cold front. As you can see, some fairly rapid clearing behind the front. Now, that front is moving in our direction. I suspect it will be through the Louisville area. Looks to me like probably around 6 a.m., about the time we're starting our day out. Here's the current weather map where we're concerned. The cold front will go through Paducah within the hour, then continue to move in our direction. Out ahead of the front, continued very breezy and very balmy. Behind the front tomorrow, the winds wrap around this low pressure system. That'll also make for a very breezy day. Temperatures falling once the front goes through. The Pacific Northwest. Let us go there. Take a look at this system. We'll deal with another cold front coming through. It looks like late on Sunday. Now the satellite photos go into motion, and you can see a series of clouds just continue as the day goes on to build in from the southwest. And by late this afternoon, skies were cloudy, and during the evening hours, the clouds just continued to thicken up. Here's my forecast from the Channel 32 Weather Center. Overnight showers and thunderstorms ending in the early morning hours once the front goes through. Temperatures will remain in the 60s in the meantime. Then they'll fall pretty rapidly about the time you're leaving for work and school tomorrow morning. High tomorrow, only near 60. Some sun, though. On Friday, looks like 60 degrees, plenty of sunshine. The weekend right now looks like it's shaping up pretty good. A few showers late Sunday. They should end on Monday. So the attention now shifts to the West Coast. Have to control the weather out there.
Be nice weather out there. We'll change our wardrobes for tomorrow, though, won't we?
Yes, we will. I guarantee you. Wool and sweaters.
Thanks, Reese.
Can snow shovels be far behind? Coming up next, we'll take you back to Cincinnati for a wrap-up of tonight's game.
And Rick Van Hoos will have all the highlights from Game 2.
Into the opposite field, and that ball might tie the game, and it does.
Honesty, fairness, frugality. To most politicians, just rhetoric. To Joe Hogsett, a way of life. That means no free credit cards, no state car, no pay raise. Hogsett is fighting foreign hostile takeovers to protect Hoosier companies, Hoosier workers. Hogsett is cracking down on investment scams against our seniors. His office has won awards, while his budget has gone down every year. Joe Hogsett, fighting for us.
Wanted, new car and truck buyers. This is the city, Louisville, the place, Starford at Oxmoor, the crime, too much inventory. The reward, Starford will pay you $1,000 to buy any new 90 Ford in stock with no down payment and no payment till next year. Buy any new 90 Mustang, Probe, Escort, Tempo, Taurus, Thunderbird, trucks, vans, even Festiva. And Starford will reward you with $1,000 cash. And remember, if we make a deal, Starford will pay off your trade no matter how much you owe.
You are now entering the I-zone. First you notice one tiny line, then another. Now from the Estee Lauder Laboratories comes I-zone. With continued use, this unique repair gel can rebuild your skin's appearance, dramatically diminishing the visible signs of aging around your eyes. And now we'll treat you to a gift when you purchase I-zone or any Estee Lauder product for $12.50 or more. This gift is yours through October 27th at Lazarus.
Tonight's news is brought to you by Walgreens. Concerned pharmacist, superior health technology, only at Walgreens.
Dear Walgreens, I'd like to tell you about my experience. I was visiting from out of state when my wife got seriously ill. She required numerous medications, so I appreciate the low prices at Walgreens. And I'd like to thank your pharmacists. They were very considerate. Being 1,100 miles from home made Walgreens service that much sweeter.
Great Halloween parties begin at Walgreens. Candy, party decorations, masks, costumes, makeup. Everything you need for Halloween fun now at Walgreens.
After watching the first two games of the series, I have the feeling that the Reds are a team of destiny. Could it be?
It is a great series. I don't know. We shall see when they go out to Oakland. But Game 2 of this year's World Series was offensive on both sides. But in the end, the Reds prevailed. We'll take a look at the highlights. A's went up 1-0 in the first inning, but in the bottom of the first, Billy Hatcher doubled to score Barry Larkin. He has 4 doubles, a triple, and 2 singles in the World Series, 7 for 7. That is a World Series record. 2-1, the Reds went into the lead, but in the third, Jose Canseco smacked a solo home run, and that sparked one of 3 runs for the A's in that inning. They went on to lead 4-2. Now 4-3 in the 8th inning. Glenn Braggs with a slow grounder. That forces O'Neill, but it got the run home to tie the score and force extra innings. In the bottom of the 10th, there it is, Joe Oliver. After the A's had gotten 1 out, 3 singles in a row, led off by Billy Bates, who was a pinch hitter. He scooted home for the game winner. Cincinnati wins 5-4 to take a 2-0 lead over the mighty Oakland A's. Our Fred Cowgill is in Cincinnati and joins us live by satellite. And Fred, this is a great series, to say the least.
Rick, it is so stunning that many of the Reds are still in the locker room celebrating. I mean, many people in this crowd were really worried that this thing might go the way of the A's, and why not? I mean, in the 3rd inning, the A's were down 4-2 as Gallego hit a big RBI at that point. But the Reds, as they have all year long, never gave up. Played as a team the entire way. Different guys contributing every night. Some tremendous performances this evening. By the 8th inning, indeed, Glenn Braggs with a fielder's choice eventually ties it at 4. And, of course, as you saw here on Channel 32 exclusively in extra innings, a great play by Joe Oliver. The game-winning RBI in the 10th as the Reds steal it in 10 innings, the final 5-4 to go to Oakland now on Friday, leading the best of 7, 2-0. Most people in this thing never predicted that the Reds would be at this point. In fact, most people figured going to Oakland, the Reds would be down 2-0. In fact, if you talk to people in Las Vegas, I mean, they were talking about 4-1 odds on the A's sweeping this whole thing. Not many people were around trying to bet the Reds, and suddenly people are standing in line to compliment the Reds, and the A's are wondering exactly what's going on at this point. No matter how hard they try, the ball seems to be bouncing the Reds' way. I heard Bruce talk about this team possibly being a team of destiny. You kind of wonder about that, but this team, again, has been underrated all year long. Again, the first National League team to lead every day of a 162-game season, so it's not like they shouldn't be here. It's not like they got here by luck. A tremendous pitching staff, and in spite of the fact today that Danny Jackson had a tough outing, in fact, only lasted 2 2/3 innings, gave up 4 runs, the Reds were still able to bounce back with some tremendous relief pitching. Rob Dibble eventually getting the win. The Reds pull it out 5-4 in 10 innings, a tremendous effort. And again, at this point, the Reds suddenly, if nothing else, have guaranteed that they must come back at the very least to Cincinnati. They cannot lose it out there. And who knows? Maybe the unthinkable could happen, unthinkable for some, and the Reds could actually clinch the World Series, their first in 14 years, out in Oakland. Rick, that's it from here on the scene on the floor at Riverfront in Cincinnati.
Fred, when Oakland left for Cincinnati, they all had brooms out. The fans were saying sweep. Looks like the other way might be true now.
You know, in the locker room, I just talked to a number of people, including Joe Oliver. In fact, we got him right out on the field as soon as the game-winning hit was over, and he was saying, you know, at this point, we don't want to think about the unthinkable. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but suddenly it's getting very exciting. Suddenly they're thinking that maybe indeed they can really take this thing. A lot of guys have believed the whole way along, but they're beginning to surprise themselves.
All right, Fred, thank you very much. So Game 3 comes up on Friday in Oakland. Here's the starting pitchers. Tom Browning, whose wife went into labor with their 3rd child at the beginning of the game, even got on the radio and said, "Get back here, Tom. We may need you. We're running out of pitchers." He didn't have to come, so he's got a son, and he's got a 2-0 lead going into Game 3. The 20th-ranked Indiana Hoosiers will try to remain unbeaten this Saturday when they head to Minnesota. IU is a 13-point favorite.
They really found themselves. They're at their best, and so we know going in we've got a tough challenge. What's real important to us is we play with good consistency and we play at our best. You know, we feel we are a good ball club, and yet we know we've got to continually get better.
There are reports that Virginia Tech is being lured to join the Atlantic 10. If they do, the Metro Conference may be history. The Metro has already lost Florida State and South Carolina. It is down to 6 schools. Heavyweight champion Buster Douglas finally is getting close to defending his title. Next Thursday, Douglas will go toe-to-toe with Evander Holyfield. And Douglas had better be ready because Holyfield is a man on a mission. Douglas hasn't fought since knocking out Mike Tyson in February to claim the title.
That's the biggest thing I think that Douglas got going for him, is that he's champion of the world, and he will fight a little better. And I expect him to come in real good top shape, and I expect him to come in mentally right. But let me tell you one thing. If he's not mentally right, Evander's going to chase him out the ring.
Speaking about getting back into action, Bjorn Borg is considering returning to tennis after a 6-year layoff. Borg won 5 Wimbledon and 6 French Open titles. The 34-year-old Swede says his game still needs fine-tuning before he makes it official. And look who's back in football. Bo Jackson returned to the Raiders practice field today after a brief rest from baseball. We'll see how much Bo remembers about football. We'll stay with Bo for the Sports Stumper. How many years has Bo Jackson doubled as a pro baseball and football player? He's a busy guy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Bo knows how to make money, doesn't he?
You hand over fist.
Thank you, Rick.
Just ahead, we'll take you back to Parris Island for another look at boot camp.
You'll meet a Louisville drill instructor living out his dream by teaching others to survive.
Surprise!
Surprised? It's a 40th birthday bash for the Shane Company, and we're having a store-wide multi-million-dollar diamond sale.
Wow! Happy birthday!
The Shane Company's 40th birthday bash is still going on, and we're having a store-wide multi-million-dollar diamond sale.
Wow! Happy birthday!
Hey, we only have a birthday once a year, and we're celebrating with savings for you. This is one party you don't want to miss at every Shane Company showroom.
Come into Lazarus now for our fabulous November sale of fine jewelry. Save 40 to 50% off a great collection of fine jewelry. Come see our beautiful rings, necklaces, earrings, and bracelets. This diamond bracelet, 2-carat total weight, now $789. This cultured pearl strand, now only $199. And these half-carat diamond earrings are just $189. At Lazarus Fine Jewelry Department, sale ends October 20th.
A lot of car makers like to talk about performance in terms of seconds. But when you've earned Motor Week's Driver's Choice Award and achieved Car and Driver's highest customer satisfaction rating ever, why bother with seconds when you can talk about firsts? The Lexus LS 400. Stop by Lexus of Louisville for a victory lap.
Kentuckiana Comfort Center recommends the Carrier Weathermaker Infinity Furnace for quiet operation, long-term dependability, and energy savings. So reliable, you get a full 5-year parts and labor warranty absolutely free. And Kentuckiana will give you $25 if they have to make even one service call.
$25, huh? We'll be seeing ya.
Wanna bet? Get full details on this limited time offer from Carrier and Kentuckiana Comfort Center. 491-9880.
Will tricks and schemes win back an old love?
And the last time I called her, I pretended to be his dead grandmother.
Scheme and ex-girlfriends on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
The latest on the Persian Gulf crisis at this hour, there's growing flack between Congress and the White House.
The administration is resisting demands that Congress approve possible military action. Secretary of State James Baker told the Senate Foreign Relations Committee the president must act quickly, and he may not be able to do that if Congress has to assemble first. Baker also told the committee a meeting could tip off Iraq about pending military operations. The secretary says the president simply wants to be ready.
Congratulate you on the... If there were a provocation that the president deemed sufficiently threatening to American citizens, or to the lives and welfare of American citizens, I think the president would feel that his responsibilities as president would require some appropriate response.
However, some lawmakers disagree with that. Indiana Republican Richard Lugar says if war breaks out, it should be up to Congress to declare it, even if it has to go back into session.
Discipline is critical on the front lines in any military operation, and the drill instructor is one of the most widely recognized examples of top-notch military discipline and bearing. In part 3 of our special reports from Parris Island, South Carolina, Don Grimes introduces us to Sergeant Leroy Holt, a Louisville native living out his dream on the drill field.
How about it, hillbilly? What did I tell you about laughing?
Sir, only 9-year-old girls laugh, sir.
Was that you?
No, sir. I ain't never laughed in my whole life, sir.
Didn't I tell you people you had your last laugh the first time you laid eyes on me?
Yes, sir! I don't believe what I'm seeing. Where you been all your lives? At an orgy? Listening to Mick Jagger music and bad-mouthing your country, I'll bet. You better stop eyeballing me, boy. You're not worthy enough to look your superiors in the eye. Use your peripheral vision. Understand? Yes, sir.
My drill instructors, they were all hard, they were fast, they could run, they could jump, they could shoot. I mean, they were the ultimate ones. They were like ultimate warriors, and I wanted to be one of them.
And after 7 years, Leroy Holt is exactly where he wants to be, on the drill field, where everything you ever heard about the guys wearing the Smokies is true, except it's not really as easy as they make it look.
When they see you, you're a ball of fire. Even though inside you're tired or you're sore, you never let them see that. You're just a ball of fire at all times.
Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it.
For recruits, the day starts at about 5 a.m. Leroy Holt and his fellow DIs begin around 3. Every minute of the 16-hour day is planned.
Go.
There's no time to waste on the drill field.
Recruit training for recruit is like getting a drink of water through a fire hydrant.
During his year on the drill field, Sergeant Holt has lost 60 pounds and most of his voice. But he'll tell you that it takes more than an intimidating yell to be a good DI.
They need somebody driving them and showing that leadership from the front. We do everything they do. Fix it.
Yes, sir.
And for all of the rebukes and corrections recruits endure all day, every day on Parris Island, even they seem to know what the drill is all about.
They want you to be the best. They want to train you. They don't want you to walk across the parade deck on your graduation day unless you've earned it.
Marines often say that they never forget the face of the man who helped make them a Marine. But surprisingly, the attachment isn't always one-sided.
Around the latter part of training, when it's getting time for them to go, I kind of look back and sometimes I look at them and I say, I wish these guys could stay a little longer.
At the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, South Carolina, Dawn Grimes, Channel 32 News.
Tomorrow we complete our special reports from Parris Island. Why do they do it? What makes Kentuckiana's youngsters volunteers for so rigorous an assignment? That's tomorrow on the Noon Report. Coming up next, there's coach class, tourist class, business class.
And now there's even horse class. We'll explain.
You're looking at a very sophisticated piece of equipment. At Citizens Fidelity, we use it every day to help process thousands of pieces of loan information, so you get the loan that's perfect for you every time. Now, we're not the only ones who possess this incredible banking tool. It's just we take the time to use it. At Citizens Fidelity, we listen, then we lend. Citizens Fidelity Bank, a PNC bank.
As expected, a commercial for the 1991 Nissan Pathfinder. So you've got to expect us to show you it's got 4 doors. And you probably expect us to show you what Pathfinder's powerful engine can do. Whoa! And tell you its 4x4 can take you almost anywhere. But what you don't expect is we're not going to ask you to buy a Nissan Pathfinder. We're simply going to ask you to try a Nissan Pathfinder. Because once you've tried it, we expect you'll want to buy it. See your local Nissan dealer and try one today.
Even if it's stain-resistant, deep down, every carpet is at war with enemy soil. Because underneath the infantry, airborne, stormtroopers, and rugged destroyers, hidden buildup wears down carpet fibers. Vacuums don't clean deep enough. Do-it-yourself machines don't either. But Coit removes enemy soil with powerful deep carpet cleaning guaranteed. So when you want it spotless, don't just clean it, Coit it.
Call Coit now for 20% off carpet cleaning.
Looks like everyone's heard about Lazarus' big November sale.
I need shoes, bad. Dresses first. Whatever.
They'll both get the lowest prices of the season.
And Jill and Johnny know how to figure 25% off Bugle Boy.
No, Toffee. This shopping spree is for me.
You won't need basketball shoes for weeks.
Yeah, but I can save on my Reeboks now.
Strategy.
Saves 30 to 35% on a couple suits, shirts, ties.
Shop with me, I'll run with you.
Run in and get savings so big. Even he shops now. Lazarus' big November sale through Saturday.
In our nightcap tonight, flying horses. 37 yearlings boarded a flight for London tonight. These prized horses were purchased in central Kentucky. A first-class horse flight overseas runs $4,000, and that's only a one-way ticket. Instead of having to pack, each horse was checked out thoroughly by a vet before departing. We hope these Kentucky exports find green pastures overseas.
And the answer is, Bo Jackson's beginning his 4th season. No rest for the rich, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Rick. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.
Good night.